We're standing at the site of the Topped Mountain burial cairn in the foothills of the Sperrins to the northeast of Enniskillen. This is a site that is of great significance both for the monument itself, for what it contained, but also for the fact that recent work has shown that this is the focal point of an archaeological complex that contains the greatest concentration of prehistoric monuments in County Fermanagh. The first thing that will strike any visitor to Topped Mountain is the spectacular range of views, particularly to the north, east and west. The monument itself is an almost circular grass-covered cairn. You will see on the top of the cairn there is a stone pillar. Now this is a modern trig point, it is not of archaeological interest, but what is of interest is the fact that the centre of the cairn has been hollowed out. Now again, these hollows are not an original feature, but these are actually the scars of antiquarian investigation in the late 19th century. Most of what we know about the Topped Mountain site itself comes from the antiquarian works of Thomas Plunkett and George Coffey, but more recently landscape studies have been carried out around Topped Mountain itself and in the wider environment, while some of the remains that were found by Plunkett and Coffey have been radiocarbon dated to give us some idea of the date of the burial. When Plunkett and Coffey opened the cairn, they found a number of burials scattered throughout in different places, but the most significant of these were contained in a stone kist in the eastern part of the cairn. Within this kist were the remains of two individuals, one a cremation burial, the other an inhumed burial consisting of a skull and some long bones. Now associated with the inhumed burial were a number of very interesting grave goods. They found a tripartite vase food vessel, which is characteristic of early Bronze Age burial, and also the blade of a bronze dagger. But I think the key finding was associated with the dagger a small strip of gold. Now this was almost certainly a pommel binding for a wood or bone handle for the dagger, which didn't unfortunately survive. Its key importance to us is that for all of the gold work that we find in the Irish Bronze Age, we have literally only a handful of occasions where gold has been found with a burial. So clearly the individual who was buried at Topped Mountain was of some significance. The significance of the Topped Mountain burial may extend beyond the confines of the cairn itself. Recent landscape work in this area has shown that the Topped Mountain burial may be the focal point of a rich archaeological landscape here in County Fermanagh. This landscape has been endowed with the most dense concentration of prehistoric ritual sites that we have in County Fermanagh at the moment. Now within this area there are two existing lakes, and paleoenvironmental work has shown that there is a possibility that there was a third lake in Mount Drum. Now it's these three lakes which seem to have attracted the builders of the monuments, because if we look at the distribution of the monuments, they seem to be clustered around these three lakes. There is a pan-European cult of sanctifying water sources throughout the early Bronze Age and beyond. So it may be that what we have here is a reflection of a much wider dynamic that's going on throughout Europe.